currently so hot. Ugh.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it's going to be a video about Elder Scrolls Online and me returning to Elder Scrolls. So let's get into some of my talking points. As I have stated before, this video is going to be about Elder Scrolls Online and my reintroduction to the game. I've come back. It's finally happened. With COVID and all the worldly events and American events going on, I've needed much distraction. Considering I'm not in my finals, so I'm gonna have a break. So I would really like to have something nice to distract myself with. So I needed another game to add on top of the games that I'm already playing in order to keep myself sane and, have some good coverage for also making videos. So I've decided to jump onto Elder Scrolls Online, and I kind of bought the expansions. I kind of bought Greymoor, and it came with the other expansions. And all I gotta say with my reaction to Elder Scrolls Online so far is I'm really enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying everything that I've experienced so far. I feel like buying the game has really invested myself, or compelled me to invest myself more so than if I was just playing the base game, which I'd already had. When you invest in something, when you put your own money into it, you're going to want to get the most out of it as possible. So I think that also might have been why I kind of was not really enjoying Elder Scrolls Online compared to other games, because other games I'd invested more money in. So I was like, okay, I don't want to abandon those. So I just finally mustered up enough of my savings and monies to buy the expansions, and I gotta say, I am having a blast. I really am. Now I'm going to go over a couple topics for pretty much new players for Elder Scrolls Online, considering I am a new player, and my general reactions, and hope that this can help other players or other aspiring Elder Scrolls players on making the decision whether or not they would like to invest some time, money, and have some fun in Elder Scrolls Online. So first I want to talk about game optimization that I've experienced, the Warden and Necromancer class, the overall gameplay, and then finally the recent Greymoor expansion, which the cinematic should be playing in the background. First and foremost, let me talk about game optimization. As a brief, introduction, I might not be optimized, but I sure like it when my games are. Elder Scrolls Online had an infamous past of not being great when it first launched, and they've since fixed this up, but they've never really addressed the issue of optimization, lag, latency, effects, frames, all that stuff. Recently, in the past couple of months, they've made great feats in updating their engines, their software, their on the back end, on the front end, whatever end it is, but they've basically forced everyone to re-download Elder Scrolls Online with improvements to the actual game itself. And I gotta say, I've received great frame rate increases from the reinstall. I used to get pretty iffy, like 30 frames, but I've recently got a huge spike in just smoothness of the game, to where I can stream it and not feel awful about streaming it, because I'm like, it's actually viewable, it's watchable. And I didn't really get that impression before the changes. So I'm really glad that they have gone back and are optimizing a lot of the game, which I really wish more games would do, but I understand some limitations. So this is my thought on pretty much the game optimization. Next, I'm going to touch on the two main features as a new player that I have found the most fun and excitement in. My viewpoint is slightly different because I did pre-order Elder Scrolls Online, the vanilla game, before it even came out, and played the Head Start for my birthday. And so I've known the four classes already. I've known the Sorcerer, the Templar, the Nightblade, and the Dragon Knight. I never got to play the Warden or the Necromancer. And as someone who is, fairly new to the modern Elder Scrolls Online, but has had experience with Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out, I kind of was used to the classes, and buying the expansions, which allow the Warden and Necromancer class, has really infused my gameplay experience with whole new ways to kill things, to play, to really keep myself entertained. So my recommendation for players who are thinking about starting Elder Scrolls Online, or who want to maybe buy the expansions, I would highly recommend getting the standard version of Greymoor, as it comes with all the expansions. It comes with Morrowind, it comes with Somerset, it comes with Elsewhere, and it also comes with the Greymoor expansion, or the story DLC. There are, smaller DLCs which you might have to buy individually, but that is more up to your own discretion and your own interests. Sorry, the window is open. Once again, it's Satan's ass crack up in here. It's a lot! God damn it! For new players, I would highly recommend maybe investing in just the standard so you have all of the expansions to go back and play. The Warden and Necromancer classes, as a main topic, really allows you to, explore the different playstyles and themes that you want to be, playing with. How you want to be portrayed in the world of Tamriel. And honestly, it's really changed my overall impressions of the game, because not only do I have these 4 base classes that I'm already familiar with, I'm now mastering 2 other classes with completely new playstyles, completely new focal points and ways that they interact with not only their own character in terms of how you fight, but also how you support allies, how you defend them, how you tank, and all that stuff. So it's really nice and fresh. That was my third point with the 2 main draws that I've experienced. My next topic point is going to be about the overall gameplay. Elder Scrolls Online is not the most action combat-y MMO that I've ever played, nor does it really brand itself as such, but it's not necessarily tab target. It's somewhat of a hybrid between slow, more methodical combat and aspects of action where you have to aim, you have to dodge, you have to block. You really have to think about positioning in terms of, will this skill chain to another enemy? Will this skill chain to another ally? So it's more dynamic. I think that's probably the most appropriate word, being dynamic, not action nor tab targeting, just more so, once again, dynamic. I'm really driving that word into the ground, aren't I? Oh god. But I really had a nice time with it. I've grown to enjoy it over time, and I think in the era of 2020, for video games, we're so used to high, fast-paced action combat. So if you are willing to allow yourself to adjust with the combat style and the way you play Elder Scrolls Online, or the way Elder Scrolls Online plays, if you allow yourself to have that time, you might actually come to really enjoy it, such as I have. I first started and I was like, I don't know. But I kept with it, and honestly, I got used to it. It's definitely sometimes an issue of growing pains or something like that. Another point I've asked, as more of a side or an honorable mention before I get to my final point, I've really started enjoying crafting. I've never been one who really enjoys crafting in MMORPGs. I have instead just focused on getting equipment and gear from high-end content such as dungeons and raids and ranked PvP. So I've never really been drawn to crafting. However, with Elder Scrolls Online, you can level up your crafting pretty much just by deconstructing a bunch of armor pieces, amulets, rings, necklaces, weapons, reagents, fragments, and all that stuff. And it's fairly dynamic, and it isn't super hard to get into, so I just wanted to mention that as an honorable mention point for players such as myself who are not necessarily super fond of the crafting experience in MMOs, or crafting in general, pretty much. I don't know if I'm a niche community or not, but we'll see. And now for my final point, this being Greymoor itself. I have not finished Greymoor, and I want to make clear that this video is not going to be touching on a lot of Greymoor stuff in terms of the expansion. I've already mentioned that I've bought Greymoor, which comes with the other expansions, and I currently am mostly playing Morrowind and Elsewhere on my Warden and my Necromancer. So with this said, I haven't touched a lot of Greymoor, the recent expansion, but I have heard some, moderate things. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't say go out and see the story for yourself in terms of watching videos if you want to avoid spoilers. But if you're fine with spoilers, you can see some summaries and reviews of the recent expansion if that is what you are primarily focused on. So if you come here to really see how the newest expansion is, I apologize. I myself haven't gotten there, and I don't want to really watch a bunch of things to spoil, so I'm not going to touch on Greymoor here. However, I might in another video once I finally complete the Greymoor storyline, and once I play some dungeons and get my footing more solidly grounded in the world of Elder Scrolls Online. Overall, everyone, I've had a really fun time in ESO, and I'd say for the year 2020 and the newest release of Greymoor, and having your Warden class, and having your Necromancer class, and having the ability to buy all the expansions with one purchase, I think that this is a perfect time for anybody who wants to get into ESO to jump in and try it out. I'll be playing quite a bit. I'm streaming it quite a bit on Twitch, so if you want to see me, catch me on Twitch on the weekends playing Elder Scrolls Online, be sure to go down in my description. My Patreon is also down there as well. I'm using that quite a bit. You'll get exclusive content, early releases, and oh my god, is it loud outside. Can you shut up? But all my links are down below. My Twitch, my Discord, my Twitch. I'm doing that much more for the weekends. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about ESO in the comment section. Like the video if you liked it, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos on all things Elder Scrolls Online. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.